Good morning, guys. I am awake super early this morning and feeling good about it. Christina had a bit of a headache this morning and she asked if I could get up and take Duncan to school, get him ready and everything. So that was like 7 o'clock after I went to bed at about 1:30, maybe, I don't know what time it was exactly. Entirely too late, as it normally is. But after I dropped him off at school, I came back and basically the thought process was, it's 7:30. I would normally get up at about 8. If I go back to bed now, I'm gonna stay in bed until like 9 something, and that's not productive at all. So I smacked the caffeine pretty hard, had some breakfast, and I've been working ever since. I actually just finished up, it just finished rendering the video about the Shinlin X162. Basically last night after I finished up the vlog, I started looking through all of the footage that I had about the Shinlin 162 and the U807, and basically I still need to do one more test flight with the U807, which I'm gonna try to do today, which is gonna be really funny because all the footage that I've got so far was from before Thanksgiving. I've been sitting on it that long, so all the trees still have leaves on them. It's nice and green outside, it's really pretty, and outside right now there's snow. So that's going to make for an interesting video. But there's still a couple of features about the U807 I have not covered on video, like flips and headless mode, so I want to make sure to do that. But for the X162, I had already covered all of that, and basically all the thoughts and impressions I had in that first video I made were where I currently stand with it. So I figured I'd go ahead and just shoot a quick wrap up. So I took my camera over there, I just plopped everything down on the table and talked about it for a few minutes. Video was a little longer than I would have liked, total of about 7.5 minutes, but it's done now, so I can go ahead and start uploading it. And then, as I said, I'll probably head outside sometime today, hopefully, and do the U807 wrap up. And today is very much gonna be another one of those ninja dad days, because between getting up super early to take Duncan to school, doing all of the day job type stuff, working on video stuff, right after lunch I actually have to go to the grocery store and pick up the groceries that Christina ordered last night, which is not the grocery store in our town. It's a grocery store that's like 20 miles from here, but apparently that's justifiable to be able to drive 15 or 20 minutes to get there, grab the groceries, come right back without having to spend an hour or more in the store. I can kind of see that. Then after I get back, I have to work a little while, get Duncan off the bus, take Duncan to get haircuts for the two of us, come back and try to work a little bit more, and then we may actually be going to church tonight. I really don't know. Christina is the one that's been sort of managing our schedule with regard to that, with regard to when we actually take the baby places. So I've just been kind of laying back and saying, if you want to go someplace, we can do that. If there are going to be people there, just keep in mind he might get sick. We don't want to have that happen. Just letting you know. And then of course wrap up the evening with doing more work, more video stuff, more everything, always, forever. But I'm feeling good about it. In other news, already this morning, as I mentioned, we've already been working on video stuff. I've also been playing with the Raspberry Pi some more. You might remember this is the Raspberry Pi 2 that I've actually been running tt-rss on. It's not currently running, it's not wireless, because I took the micro SD card out of it and I put it in the Raspberry Pi Model B Plus for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to see if everything was truly universal, if I could just take the image and move it from one to the other. It's up, it's running, it's working perfectly. Maybe not as fast as this one was, but it seems to be pretty close. Actually, just putting it up side by side with my old server that I've been running, they seem to have all the same data on them. And actually, no, it looks like the Raspberry Pi B Plus is going just a little bit faster in terms of data retrieval. Maybe not nearly as fast as this one, but maybe it doesn't need to be. I'll have to run a script against it and see how it does. But either way, it's nice to know that these are kind of interchangeable. Now, the reason I wanted to switch to the Model B Plus was I wanted to try the Raspberry Pi 2 with the Windows 10 Internet of Things Edition image from Microsoft. But I did some quick research on that, and apparently that's not going to be hugely useful unless you're building an Internet of Things based device, as the name would imply. I think previously everything I just said, you can run Windows 10 on the Raspberry Pi 2, and I missed that whole Internet of Things thing. So again, unless you want to build some sort of an internet connected device that powers something, not necessarily a server or a desktop, Windows 10 on this is not going to be hugely useful. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and watch through my X162 video, maybe try to work on 1 or 2 more videos. Christina and the baby haven't come downstairs yet, so I might try to see what else I can get filmed very, very quickly, and then get to work on doing day job stuff as well, because I have a meeting here in less than an hour. I've got a lot of day job work type stuff I've got to get done today, so time to get the day started. So he's in here just talking away. What do you want to talk about? Tell us all the cool things that are happening in Babytown. What is that thing? I heard him yelling in here, and it was a yell, not a scream. Yell. He's just so talkative and moving, wide awake. Happy to be here.
You remember this outfit, Daddy?
I do. That's one that Duncan used to wear.
Yep.
It's like a terry cloth. It's kind of like a towel.
Yeah.
Which means when he spits up all over it, it'll absorb it.
And he did as soon as I put it on him.
He did.
Yeah. Just a little.
Just a little, but that's okay. Good morning, Booger Man. Well, it's a little while later. Had my morning meeting that I was talking about earlier. Instead of having the normal morning meeting where I meet with my coworkers and we talk about our day, we had a company-wide meeting where they talked about some changes that are going to be happening in the company. Nothing that seems to impact me. I'm getting moved to a different part of the company, but it's really just an on-paper kind of change, so I don't really think there's a huge amount to worry about. Now, the news been working on day job stuff, and actually I'm very, very close to having this thing that I've been working on done. Stuck it out on the server, made sure all the prerequisites and everything are there, and so far it's looking good. I haven't got it actually running the backups yet. I want to sort of take it one step at a time because there's so many moving pieces and parts to this. You know, connecting to external services and running commands against those services and then bringing back the results and using that to do this and that. Yeah, it's just kind of a bit of a scary one. So I'm taking my time and making sure everything works right. In other news, as you might expect, I have a little visitor again. Christina decided to run up and take a shower real quick, so he is hanging out and snoozing again. By the way, I completely forgot to mention, late last night after I finished working on things, he has a passy on his head. But late last night, after I finished working on everything, I had gotten an email about dinner time, and I saw some stuff in there that I thought was interesting. Just an email from Adorama saying we've got a 48-hour, 60% off sale. It's still going on at the moment, I think, so if you're interested in any of these things I'm about to mention, you go check them. I'll try to remember to go link to it down in the description. But the thing that really caught my attention, the reason that I came back to look at the email again, was that they had a lens for this camera, for Micro Four Thirds cameras. The Olympus M Zoico Digital ED 40 to 150 millimeter, 40 to 150 millimeter, can't say words, but it's f4 to 5.6, so it's very much a kit zoom lens, the telephoto lens that sort of corresponds to the lens that I'm currently using, even though it's Olympus branded versus Panasonic, whatever. But that regularly retails for about $200, and right now they have it for $99, and I'm absolutely fighting with myself about that, because again, it's a kit lens, it's not great. The kit lens I'm using is not great, but it gets the job done, especially for this kind of video. But for the main channel video, the kit lens on this, I would hazard to say this kit lens from this is almost as good, if not about as good, as the one on my Sony camcorder. The benefit to the G7 is that I can upgrade the lens. That actually comes back to the other part of the email. I've been going back and forth with Hugo down in the comment section and over on Twitter. He's got a couple of lenses for his GH4, and he has some amazing looking videos coming out of that thing. So that got me looking at different lenses, all in around the $200 price range, $200 to $300. He's got the 17mm 2.8, which is about a $200 lens. There's also a 25mm 1.8, which I think is like $250. And then there's a 20mm 1.7, which is like $270. And of all the three of them, I definitely didn't want a 2.8 because that's good for low light, but not as low light as like a 1.7 or 1.8. So that got it sort of narrowed down to the 20 or the 25. And between the two, I really would have preferred the 20mm because it's f1.7 and it's wider angle. On this, it equates to about a 40mm, whereas the 25 would be 50. So not a massive difference, but a difference. And last night, that Adorama email, it's $267.99 plus a free $25 gift card to Adorama. So what I'm really tempted to do is, once that gift card shows up, take the gift card back to Adorama and pick up either the 40 to 150mm zoom lens, just because that gives me a long zoom lens I can take on trips and stuff. Or, there's another thing on there that I was looking at. There's a bundle pack of an Audio-Technica USB microphone and an acoustic microphone audio shielding stand. When I record screencast type things on my desktop, I use a USB microphone currently, but there's an awful lot of echo and background noise. When I was recording the most recent one about the little PC stick, I could hear a lot of stuff in the background. I could hear Christina talking on her phone in the next room in the background of that video. So having something to sort of shield out that audio, having an audio barrier would be really nice. The audio barrier itself is like $95 on Adorama, but putting it together with that Audio-Technica microphone, it's $150. And the Audio-Technica mic on its own is normally like $150. Just double checked. Yeah, absolutely right. You save $94.95. The $94.95 is the price of the original microphone shield. Now, would I actually end up using that microphone? I don't know. I've heard it's the Audio-Technica AT2020 USB. Now, I've heard that the AT2020 is a good microphone. I've seen some good results out of it, so I just don't know how it would compare to the microphone I currently use, which is the Blue Microphones Yeti, and it's the Yeti USB, so they sort of compare one-to-one, I think, because there's also an AT2020 that's an XLR mic. There's also a Blue Yeti that's an XLR mic. I don't know. Again, that might make another interesting video. I find myself wanting to cover more camera and gear-related topics because they're also technology. So yeah, when the 20mm 1.7 lens comes in, I'll definitely be making a video about it, at least one video, maybe some sample quality videos. Because of all the ones that I watched, I haven't really seen any that cover the kind of things that I do. People sitting there using them for vlog style videos, low light vlog style videos, family videos. Most of the ones I've seen are like we're outdoors in the middle of the night filming cars, which is great. Shows the low light performance of the camera as well as how well the lens does. Or there's nature photography, or there's beauty photography, where you're outdoors taking photos of a model or something. But just, I'm not seeing the everyday stuff. I think that's where I come in with all of this. So when the lens shows up, I'll definitely be doing that. And I'll have to sort of decide what to do as to whether to go with the Audio-Technica mic with the mic shield, because I've been looking at those for literally 3 or 4 years now, maybe more. Because I actually thought about buying one back when I was doing music video stuff on this channel. Just never bothered. Or potentially that zoom lens. The zoom lens for half price is definitely great, but it's about the same savings as this would be, and you get a free microphone. I have a problem with money. As soon as it shows up, I spend it. Not a bad thing, as long as it's not my family's main income money that I'm spending on tech. I gotta get back to work. All right, more work accomplished. It's almost 12:45 at this point. We had lunch together and whatnot. I chose not to record anything because Ellis was in a bit of a mood. And then he was adorable and I didn't have the camera on me and I felt kind of bad about that. But it's about that time I've got to drive out to Kroger and pick up our groceries. Super exciting stuff. Oh, I did not want to get out into the cold. Didn't want to leave the warm, comfortable house. But oh well. Yes, I have my sunglasses on. I'm not trying to be that guy. I have a headache. And all the extra light. I'm extremely sensitive to light. So anything I can do to sort of block that out is a good thing. In other news, I've been getting comments on the PC stick video I told you about that went up yesterday. Very pleased with how that video turned out. It could have been better. It was kind of quickly done, but at least it's done. That's the most important thing. However, the company that makes the stick apparently found the video. I'm guessing they've got a Google alert or something. So all of a sudden I've started receiving comments from the company. They're actually replying to people who are commenting on the video that are asking questions about things. They're giving the answers, so I don't have to. That is amazingly awesome. Yes. In yet other news, after I was talking about the Adorama stuff earlier, in the middle of talking about that, I literally said the words, "This is not a sponsored or affiliate thing. I don't have an affiliate account through Adorama." And then once I got done filming and I started looking at the footage, I said, wait a minute, why don't I have an affiliate account at Adorama? So I went back and I looked it up, and Adorama does have one. It's relatively easy to apply for. So now it's the waiting process to see if I get approved. There's also an affiliate program for B&H Photo and Video, and I do a lot of shopping over there. Although over the last couple of years, just because of all the Amazon gift cards that I've had coming in, I haven't been shopping so much at Adorama and B&H. Now that I've made that change with my Amazon affiliate account so that it'll come to my bank account and I can actually use it, I may actually do a lot more shopping at Adorama and B&H. So don't be surprised if you see deals popping up on here from time to time from either of those sites. I will of course mention if it's an affiliate type thing, if I even get approved by them. But that's one of the really nice things about the way that I'm doing this whole YouTube thing, is I'm trying to get to the point where not all of my eggs are in one basket. When I very first started out on YouTube, when I first started actually earning a little bit of money, I was dead set the only money I was ever gonna earn on the internet was on YouTube. And then all that got swept away. We don't need to go into what happened there. It's a long, messy story. But sort of this time around, I'm gonna have income from YouTube and from Amazon and from XDA and from potentially Adorama and B&H and wherever else. This is never, like I said, never gonna be a full-time gig for me. So now I've gotta figure out if any of the other stores that I shop at on the regular have affiliate programs. I know a lot of the little Chinese companies that I deal with, that I get quadcopters and stuff from, they have affiliate programs, all coordinated through shareasale.com. So I've been doing that for a little while. Make very little, next to no money on that, simply because the quadcopters that I review there are so cheap that getting a percentage on that, you're getting a couple of pennies from it, as opposed to somebody buying a Phantom 3 and you get a very decent little amount from that. Speaking of which, I've got to make more videos about the Phantom 3. That whole thing I was talking about before about picking up an iPhone and a Galaxy S7 and whatever else this year, people keep buying those Phantom 3 standards, and this may be a whole lot more doable. The sky looks so weird and kind of pretty right now. I thought I would flip the camera around and let you see a little bit of it. The great thing about having this mounted on the dashboard is I can do that. Yeah, I've had several people comment on me driving and vlogging at the same time, and pretty much every time when I'm asked about it, I say, well, I've got this thing mounted on the dashboard. I just leave it turned on, and when I want to do a recording, I reach over and I hit the button, because right now I'm staring at the road with my hand on the wheel, but I'm able to put my hand on the camera just like that without having to take my eyes off the road. So I can very easily move it around, I can flip the screen around on it and everything, hit the record button without having to take my eyes off the road or my hands off the wheel. Well, one hand off the wheel. And the example that I was given was somebody else that was being quite a bit unsafe with their driving and vlogging, in that somebody was holding the camera on them and they were looking firmly to the side instead of watching the road. Not quite the same thing. And just sort of throwing this out there, this is what it looks like. I'm at Kroger now. There's the online pickup area right there. So I'm gonna pull up. See what happens.
May I have your first and last name, please?
The name is Christina Keys, Keyes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, if you'll just pull forward to the space in front of you, we'll be right out with your order.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was pretty quick and painless. Awesome, all done. I will say that was significantly easier than going into the store and doing it myself. It did take a little bit of time. You know, once I got there and did the whole call on everything, had to wait for the person to actually come out. For some reason, my card wouldn't read. He had an iPad with a little, it's not a Square reader. Square's just a brand, but it's something similar to that for the payment system stuff. And because the card wouldn't read, he had to actually manually type the number in, which, not a big fan of that. That was a whole lot faster than going in and actually marching around the store for an hour trying to find everything. The biggest thing is that it's just not available in the town that we live in, but it will be. It will be soon. The stores in our area are being remodeled, which means that all of the new versions of the stores are going to have that as an option. And you do have to pay a little bit extra. I think it's something like $5 per order to do it. But if you're doing your entire week's worth of groceries, an additional $5 is really not that much. But anyway, time to head back home. Suppose we'll see if I have any more rants and diatribes to go off on the way home. Well, I've been back for quite a little while now. Actually, took just a little bit of time to pull in all the rest of the clips and cut out all the dead space. So today's vlog is actually completely edited up to this point, and it's already at 16 minutes. Wow. However, USPS showed up with a package. Yes, I know, more things to look at. But this one ties in heavily with the way that CES went this year. Not something specifically that was at CES as far as I know, but this is the Allegiant VR ShineCon virtual reality glasses. Should actually be really, really similar to the ones that I looked at a while back, the Noon VR headset. But the company reached out to me and asked if I wanted to look at them. Of course I said yes. So when there is time, I will definitely give those a look. And I'll probably give them about the same look that I gave the Noon VR headset, which is basically unbox it. Here's what it looks like. Here's how my phone fits in it. Let me run Google Cardboard while I'm looking at it. Wow, that looks pretty cool. Moving on. And I need to get back to doing as much as I can for work because Duncan and I have to leave here in about 10 minutes. Duncan just got home. We've got to go get haircuts. By the way, welcome home, little booger man. Did you have a good day at school? You definitely need a haircut. Look at that mop. It's a mess. And I need one too. Mine's pretty bad. And of course, littlest one is still just a snoozing a day away. And you're not, currently. And she's just hacking up along. That's what she does. She gets excited. Hack, 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 hack.
Just static.
Yeah, she's been rolling around on the floor, so she's all staticky now. You feeling good there, mutt? A little bit. And actually, just a little bit of random stuff here before we have to leave. I was watching the Jimmy Fallon video about the HTC Vive earlier, and I went there to see the Vive, but that wasn't exactly what caught my attention. I've seen the stuff that he did with the Vive before. That's all very cool and it's all well and good. But they also mentioned another product that was announced at CES called the Avigant, or I think it's Avigant Glyph. And it looks like just a pair of headphones, but at the top of the band, you have two projectors, and then you flip them down and it projects light onto your retina, whatever video you provide to it. So you hook an HDMI source into it. I'll have to show you. And it looks something like that. Looks a little bit awkward, a little weird, but it also looks kind of cool. So it has me very, very curious. The price point on it though, it's about $600 right now, and it'll be $700 at retail. That's a little bit much, but if you have the right connections, you could hook it up to your phone, you could hook it up to your iPhone. I know there's an iPhone cable, MHL for Android if your device supports MHL. There's Bluetooth to it. It said something about having a 360-degree mode and a VR mode. Really sort of confusing and tempting. It's like a mobile VR headset that's not like the mobile VR headsets that we know of right now. I don't know, I'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll reach out to the company and just see if they're interested in sending me one, even for a trial. But we've got to go now. Oh look, we're back in this parking structure without Christina this time, because we both need haircuts pretty badly. Well, you certainly look much more spiffy now. Feeling spiffy? Yeah. Toothless Joe. And he got his candy. I didn't get any candy. But we both look and feel an awful lot better, so thumbs up. Well, Duncan and I have made it back home. We've been here for a little while now, and I'm here holding little man because he's just knocked out, and Christina is working on some dinner stuff. I came to the realization it's super, super cold when I decided to run outside very, very quickly and fly the U-807 for one last time, finishing up the review. I had a ridiculous amount of footage of it, but none that was just absolutely amazing, and I didn't have any showing it doing flips or any in headless mode. I still couldn't get headless mode to work on it. I saw a video out there talking about how to do it, just could not get it to work for whatever reason. But I got it out there and I did some flips with it, I did some funnels with it, just some speed passes and everything. The video itself, all of it, is 8 minutes, so it's a little longer than I would like it to be, but it's a pretty decent little video. And again, getting these things finished so I can move on to other things. After this one, once it is up there, I'll have 2 more quadcopters here to make videos about. And I got an email from GearBest last night with a list of 4. They said, do you want to try any of these? And I, at this point, should have said no, but the XK or the XK Detect. What did you just do? I think my desktop might have just blue screened. Yeah, for whatever reason, Windows 10 blue screen of death. Fun times. Now I've completely forgot what I was saying. And we breathe a sigh of relief. The desktop came back up. It was WHEA uncorrectable error. That's a terrifying message. I had this one on in the background just because I was looking it up. And apparently to fix that, you can do Windows updates, which you can't do if it won't start up, and it wasn't starting up. Or you can do a system restore, which is very difficult to do if it won't start up. Ouch. And the error itself supposedly has something to do with the system stopping to deal with data loss, or to prevent data loss. It's like, but the blue screen was what shut the system. Windows is confusing. Alright, so we're going to try our render again. I was in the middle of rendering the video when this happened, so I don't think it actually finished. And if that ain't a kick in the balls, I don't know what is. Yeah, so apparently I made all of these edits, and because I had little man here on the lap, I wasn't paying close enough attention and never once hit the save key. Never once. And I think it actually saved in the middle of doing the render, and for some reason it didn't save. That thoroughly sucks. So it's only going to take me like 5 or 10 minutes to get back to where I was, but it means that I have to redo the edit, resync all the audio and everything. Fun times. And it saves the day. Premiere Elements has an autosave directory it automatically creates, and it autosaves after a certain amount of time. I thought it was autosaving the actual project. No, it's autosaving to the autosave directory. That is a win in every sense of the word. I don't have to redo all the work. I have been told it is food time. And that is not a pizza bake. That is corn dogs. This, wow. That's some jalapenos. Jalapenos on my half. Mushrooms and a few jalapenos on her half, because mushrooms are yucky. There you go, that's some food. Dinner accomplished. I'm gonna do a little bit of a snack. I'm doing a smoothie. Frozen strawberries, perfect for smoothies. Banana, way too green, but it'll do. And a little bit of organic 2% milk. Out of focus milk, but milk nonetheless. There you go. See what happens. Smoothie! So let us try this thing. It's thick, it's fruity, it's good, and it's not hugely high calorie. Wanna try?
Yeah, it tastes a lot of banana.
Really?
Yeah, the bananas would be
Good stuff. And snooze and baby. Alright, video about the U807 is complete. It's rendered, it's uploading. Also been doing a little bit of management of my playlists on the channel. That's something I haven't really talked about on this channel at all. At least I don't think I have. But after all the videos are up there, after everything is said and done, then comes the other management parts. Of course, you've got answering comments and questions and emails and everything, but you've also got organization. There are some people out there that don't like subscribing to channels. They'd rather just follow one certain subset of the channel. In my case, my channel does a whole lot of different things. I do what I call hardware reviews. I do accessory reviews, things like earphones and batteries. I do the playlist is called Fly Day Fridays because I used to do only on Fridays. I would make videos about quadcopters and drones. So if people only want to see one certain portion of my content, they can just follow that playlist. The exact same thing for this channel. I've got one for daily vlogs, I've got one for subscription boxes, and then one for each of the individual subscription boxes that I receive. Just kind of a nice way to be able to generate more views and make it a little bit easier for people to find all of the associated content. If I can get just a minute. I think Christina's upstairs feeding the baby. Duncan is playing his tablet at the moment. I think I'm gonna take my desktop down, put some extra hardware in it. Nope, I can't. I'm uploading a video. Well, I'll do it when the video finishes uploading, I mean. Look at that. He is awake. He has the eyeballs. It's the end of the day, so of course it's time to wake up, right?
Of course.
The work day is over. That means everybody else has time to play. Everybody has time to pay the attention. You look so concerned about this thing. You will get used to it. I promise. Concern. He's concerned by the microphone, I think, most.
He's like,
It's something big and black coming at my face. No, thank you. Well, good news. The Adorama affiliate thing worked out. I am now in their system, so awesome. So if I do manage to have a link that I mentioned to that 48-hour sale that I mentioned at the beginning, there'll be a link down there if I can figure it out. Unfortunately, that 48-hour sale expires just a few hours after this vlog will go up, so it's not really going to make that big of a difference. However, if you do happen to go to Adorama as a result of that link, anything you purchase there, I do get a little bit, like a little teeny bit of a kickback on. So that does help the channel, so thank you. Uh-oh. It's his first actual tub bath. That is the unhappiest face. Of course, right after I turned the camera off a second ago to take a photo, he stopped crying, stopped screaming, realized how warm it was. He's good to go. Oh no. Once she starts massaging his head, he's gonna like it. There we go. Now he's just a swallowed up little mush. And he's happy.
You're better.
All better.
That's better. You're all clean. Let's go get some clothes.
Alright. The tiredness is real. And that feeling when you record several clips in one day and you realize after you've imported them that you forgot to turn the mic on. You may notice I'm sitting in the floor. I'm sitting in the floor because I've got my computer open over here. I have made the attempt to install a couple of extra hard drives, formerly USB hard drives, now not so much, as well as, and you're not going to be able to see it, but the USB 3 4-port card. At least it says it's thinking about attempting to boot. The last time it got up most of the way and then all of a sudden powered off entirely. I'm just sort of sitting back, letting it do its thing. I do realize this vlog has gone on for a ridiculous amount of time today. So much talking. I may end up cutting a lot of it out, but right now it's like 27 minutes. So if it is that long when you see it, sorry about that. It's actually starting up. We may be good. Okay, we have power. Now let's see if we have drives. I see... no. Alright, it's been a very, very long night at this point, guys. And I know it's been a very long video. It's only like 10:15. I'm very close on my steps, but I'm just beating my head against the wall with this computer. I've got the USB 3 card working. I've got the 1.5 terabyte drive installed, working just fine. I tried moving the 5 terabyte drive in, and it just basically says no. It shows up in disk management, but it shows up as a 582 gig raw partition and then everything else unallocated. And I know that it's not. So what I'm going to do is going to bring it up as the USB drive again, bringing it back out to the USB, pull off all the data I need, do a full wipe on the drive once it's back inside the system, and if that works, then I'll have an internal 5 terabyte drive and hopefully we'll be good to go. But with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today because I am absolutely exhausted. I've been snapping at Christina all this evening and I feel terrible for that. I was snapping at Duncan earlier. I'm just beat. Between getting up early, working hard all day, driving all over here, there, and everywhere to do all these things, I am wiped. And I hope you guys understand. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me and my family and spending the day with us. And we will see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.